And that's because when at room temperature, they tend to take on this very nice grayish color. But funny enough, 2,000 years ago when this tree was being developed, they didn't quite have a term for the color gray yet. So they looked at this very nice gray material and they called it black, which frankly I'm thankful for because blacksmiths have a lot cooler than gray smith. And do we know what smith means?
Worker.
Yeah, today it definitely means worker or maker of or whatever, but in the time period, that's not what it meant. It kind of changed over time like a lot of words do. But in our time, it meant to smite or to heat up and hit it with a hammer. So as a blacksmith, I take iron and steel, I heat them up, and I hit them with a hammer. That's why up the road in our tin shop, you're not going to call him a tinsmith. You're going to call him a tinner, a tin whacker, or if you want to poke a little fun, you can call him a tin man. But the work they do, since their material is very thin, they can do it all by core forming or just bending with their hands. That does not mean it's easy. It's a very difficult trade, but they aren't smiths. So like a goldsmith, they work with gold, they heat it up, they do the hammer. Same thing with a silversmith. What do we think a red smith works with?
Iron.
Not iron. Any other guesses?
Copper or no?
Copper.
Yeah.
Copper and copper alloys.
Yep.
I like to ask that question because occasionally I'll get some people that say redstone or netherite. For those of you who don't know, those are the fictional materials from the video game Minecraft. I've gotten those answers quite a few times.
You want to go see something else? No. I like this one. All right, we can see another one. One half somewhat done with that I guess love you could call it. Flip around, start trying to match it on the other side. What is it?
So this is actually going to be an axe, eventually, hopefully by the end of the night. So you see this piece right here is actually the side or the cheek of the axe. And then this center block here is going to be the back of the axe. And these two ends are the blade, where we're going to slot the steel in to make that blade. This is just one way of doing it. This is called making a wrapped eye axe. Similar to when you make a tomahawk, it's just a bit more detailed because it's not a round eye, it's going to be more of an apple seed shaped eye. But you can also do what's called plating, which is you forge the two halves of the axe completely independently and weld them together to make an axe head. That's actually what we did with this hatchet right here on the first night of the program. I forged the left side, and a fellow smith of mine forged the right side. This came out a little bit nicer, but luckily he forgot which side he did, so he put my initials on the right side. But they just welded together. It's all one solid piece in there. There's just a piece of steel slotted in the blade. It's annealed. It's just got to get hardened and then tempered, and then it'll be usable as an axe. Also has to be sharpened. I forgot about that. Those aren't the fun parts. The fun part is hitting you with a hammer. Now, a lot of the axes you see made today aren't done with either of those processes. They just have the eye stamped right out of it to tends to be a lot easier when you have big power hammers, but stamping up or punching a hole through an axe is a little bit difficult when doing it by Does this look hot to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
How hot do we think it is?
Around what, maybe 1,300 degrees or more?
There's right down here is about 1,000 degrees.
Yeah.
This is a little bit hotter than that.
Yeah.
Probably around 2,000 degrees or so.
1,000 billion
Yeah.
billion.
So hot that if I just toss it on the ground will start to burn. I'm actually gonna let that burn for a second because when that nice white oak burns a little bit, it gives a nice smell. Kind of match the smell of the sulfur and other gross things in the coal.
Now we don't want to. Ah.
Other side. And do we know why I had to get it so hot?
So you can bend it.
So can mend.
Yeah, it becomes very soft, very malleable, almost like a clay. A very hard clay, but still a clay nonetheless. But through this, basically the same process, we can make really any door hardware you might need, kitchen equipment, farm tools, wagon tires, wagon axles, if we have a big enough fire. As long as you got a big enough heat source, you can take any piece of iron and steel and change it into whatever you'd like. Even though this is still very hot, I'm gonna put it back in the fire. Too much effort to be right now.
That's all right, you can watch. Nice and warm in here. Go right there, go right
We're heading out, but you can stay.
These are the real Americans.
Yeah.
Watch her.
Get up with the hammer. Eat it and get up with the hammer.
What's that gonna be made into?
Going to be an axe head.
Oh, okay.
This is a rather small hatchet, most likely. But around this time of year, when it's starting to get nice and cold, and we're about to get a nice layer of snow on the ground, hopefully. this is the time of year that you're going to be doing your logging. So, probably around the fall to early winter, you as my neighbors probably bring me all your axes and have me fix them or sharpen them, or probably not sharpen them, you're gonna make a kid do that. But just make sure they're good to use in the winter time. And then we might also put snowshoes on your oxen, or basically just oxen shoes with low cleats so they can get a little bit extra traction. So the last thing you want is one being hauling a giant log down a hill and then your oxen start to lose their step. Basically snow tires. And then we also might be making you ice skates or whatever you really need. I'm not doing any of this work unless I'm asked to do it, and I'm getting paid to do it. There we go, that's a good view.
I don't remember.
We should do this in our house.
It's not easy to get
The angle.
Or you could say hi if you click say hi.
Totally overrated.
Mary Ann's over here? No. Why, too many people?
Yeah.